This Premier League title race is honestly insane now. Like the amount of times I'm watching City or I'm watching Arsenal, I think, do you know what? Tonight might not be their night. But fair play, man. Fair play. We'll start with the Arsenal game, the early kickoff. Lots of fans went in that game tonight. I don't care what they say. They were a little bit nervous, right? It's an Arsenal team playing against Luton after a fantastic defensive performance against Manchester City. Completely locked off Haaland and just come away with a very good point. They go into tonight's game, lots of changes. Zinchenko back in the 11, no Bukayo Saka. You know, Arsenal fans were probably thinking, do you know what? There's still enough there. You know, no Martinelli, no Declan Rice. Still a very good team, though. Trossard, Havertz, Thomas Partey back in the 11. And they went out there, and it's just a professional, comfortable performance. And that's what the best teams in world football do. You don't have to beat your best. You don't have to play your best 11, but you get the job done. It's as simple as that. Kai Havertz gets another goal contribution. Smith Rowe gets another goal contribution. Martin Odegaard, the first goal, fantastic team move. Havertz puts it on a play. Odegaard takes a touch and bangs it with his left foot. And he's having a very good kind of, I want to say 8 or 9 games now, Havertz. A lot of people have kind of taken their foot off the gas in terms of the criticism and actually saying, do you know what? He's actually turning out to be a relatively good player. I don't think it was Arsenal's best performance tonight. But when you look at the amount of changes they made, when you look at the run of games they've got coming up, Champions League next week, Brighton on Saturday, resting a lot of players, probably will rest some players for that game as well. Fair play. It's what the best teams do. They got the job done. Arteta will be happy. And now it puts the pressure on the likes of Man City and Liverpool. And I thought tonight, Odegaard had a relatively good game. In terms of the stats, Arsenal dominated possession, as you can imagine, 59%. Luton, though, did have a few chances. And I think the first 20 minutes was a little bit cagey. You know, Luton, Ross Barkley was getting the ball in deep areas, driving forward. You know, Doherty put a couple of crosses into the box. Very good left back, in my opinion. But they were dealt with comfortably by Arsenal. I think Luton only had 5 shots and 1 on target. David Raya probably not going to have many more easier games than this. And Arsenal will look at it, build some momentum now. I think that's 10 games in the Premier League unbeaten. I think that's 9 wins out of their last 10. They're going to that Brighton game. They'll be very confident. You'll probably see the likes of Declan Rice, Saka, Martinelli come back in. Zinchenko today was inverting very well. Lovely passes forward. That's the sort of game UK plans Zinchenko. Against a Manchester City, I think you're probably better, you know, with a Tomiyasu or a Kivior out there. I actually thought Kivior first half against City wasn't actually particularly great, but because of the magnitude of the game and the attacking threat of a Man City tonight, Luton, you can invert comfortably. And, you know, when you got Gabriel and Saliba back, it doesn't really matter who you've got, you know, in your forward line. They've conceded 24 goals all season. And I think that's 3 clean sheets in their last 4 Premier League games. I think it's 4 in the last 5. And I think it's 6 in the last 7. I mean, it's unbelievable how strong their defense is. They got the job done. And then it's pressure on Manchester City. And boy, oh boy, oh boy. Phil Foden, I'm sorry. This guy, I am running out of words to describe this guy. World class, oozes sauce, simply majestic, icon, whatever term, whatever phrase you want to use. Phil Foden is absolutely flipping insane. He is unbelievable. Make sure you go down and drop a like on the video as well. But we need to talk about this guy because so much pressure on City tonight. Didn't really create too many chances against Arsenal. Aston Villa made a lot of changes going into the game. No Ollie Watkins, no Martinez. But it's still an Aston Villa team that are very, very strong. Manchester City tonight, I mean, they go 1-0 up from a goal from Rodri. Jeremy Doku finally gets a goal contribution. And then after that, Villa probably upset a few people. Arsenal and Liverpool fans were probably buzzing when they saw them score. A lot of City fans wobbled for the title race is over. No Kevin De Bruyne, no Erling Haaland. Man City have all their faith in their star boy, Phil Foden. He puts the entire fan base and the club on his back and just delivers a masterclass. The way he glides past players, the way his final ball 9 times out of 10 is perfect. The finishing, the free kicks, the flair, the movement. He is, for me, if not the best, second best English player right now. And I would go as far to say as he's the best player in the Premier League. It's absolutely insane what he's doing. Second hat trick of the season. I think that's 13, 14, or 15 Premier League goals. The free kick on the 45th minute was absolutely a joke. The second finish was devastating on the 62nd minute. And the third finish, bang, top right, outside the box. And Phil Foden delivers a masterclass. Like I said, no Haaland, no De Bruyne tonight, no John Stones, no Kyle Walker, no Edison. Lots of players missing for Manchester City tonight. But they still, I mean, when Rico Lewis comes in and fits that right back position like a glove. You know, Rodri and Bernardo Silva in a double pivot, very, very well. Very impressed with Akanji now. I'm starting to really, really rate him. The way he runs out from the back, wins a lot of his duels, very strong, very composed centre back. Jack Grealish had a very good performance tonight, and I actually think he needed it. I think Alan McCoy was saying on commentary that this is a sort of game where Jack Grealish is, you know, he hasn't contributed a huge amount this season for Man City, whether it's injuries or falling out of the team. He's falling out of the England picking order as well. Needed a performance like that. You know, he got booked, but other than that, I don't really think he did too much wrong. Alvarez tonight didn't stop running. Probably could have scored in at the death of the game. You know, Jeremy Doku did well too, and it's a Manchester City performance that we know. You know, we've seen them plenty of times this season where we've played games and they haven't really had that attacking threat. They've looked a little bit wobbly at the back. They haven't really played the right pass in the final third. It almost seems like tonight it was fluid. It was the Manchester City we know. And this Premier League title race, once a flipping again, mate. The best title race we have seen in years, probably over a decade. You've now got Arsenal on 68 points, top of the league. Liverpool, 29 games played, 67 points, second. And Manchester City, you know, 30 games played, 67. If Man City want to win the league, they have got to win 9 out of 9. They've got to beat Palace on Saturday. Then they've got Luton, which unfortunately Luton have had Tottenham, Arsenal, and then City. Then they've got Champions League in between that. FA Cup coming up. They have got to win 9 out of 9. I think Arsenal probably could get away with dropping a point somewhere. You know, they've still got Man United and Spurs. Liverpool, if they win tomorrow, they're back out in front by 2 points on 70 points, 3 points clear of City. But honestly, the drama in this title race, you know, and we're going to be blessed to see so many good games this month. You've still got Man United, Liverpool. We've still got Champions League next week as well, which is where I think Liverpool are going to benefit because they can afford to make changes. They probably don't have to go fully strength against Atalanta on Thursday, whereas the other two boys are going to have to go full strength against Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. And that's where, at the moment, if I had to choose a team, it's very, very close. But I think with points on the board, providing Liverpool beat Sheffield United tomorrow, Liverpool are obviously going to be favourites because they're 2 points out in front, whereas Arsenal and City drew. The defence of Arsenal is by far the strongest. And at the moment, they look so composed at the back with Gabriel and Saliba. But if there's anyone that can win 9 out of 9, if there's any team that can do the unthinkable and beat everyone along their way, it's Manchester City. I'd say right now, Liverpool are favourites, but either of these three teams could win it. In terms of Aston Villa, in terms of Luton tonight, I don't think Luton were that bad. I just think you're coming up against a world-class team. Man City had a few chances. Villa had a few chances against Man City. You know, 8 shots, only 3 on target. City had 25 shots. Whatever Guardiola said before the game, and said at halftime, they obviously listened. In terms of the games at the weekend, Liverpool got a tough game away to Man United. Arsenal got a tough game away to Brighton. And Man City have got a relatively tough game against Palace. All eyes will be on Selhurst Park, 12:30 kickoff. And dare I say it, Tottenham genuinely could decide this title race. Tottenham have still got to play all three teams, and we are a very, very unpredictable side. You never know which Tottenham team is going to turn up. But boy, oh boy, this is the most entertaining, thrilling title race we have seen in over 10 years. I just can't choose a winner right now. Make sure you go downstairs, smash that subscribe button, and we will see you all in the next one. Thank you all for watching. I am